Hey everybody, welcome to The Warp. I'm Jack Rita, and this is video number 5 in a series where I am showcasing the special systems that were designed for what would have been Expansion 8 that we codenamed Cosmic Universe. And special systems were the reimagining of reverse hex systems, which were originally part of Expansion 9 in the Eon edition and in the base game for the Mayfair edition. And it's the one element that had been previously published in previous editions that had not yet manifested itself in the Fantasy Flight edition. So we were really hoping to finally get these special systems in there. There were 42 that were designed and in the process of being playtesting when the expansion was canceled. So feel free to send your letters to Fantasy Flight, begging them to reconsider Cosmic Universe and all new aliens, 42 special systems, and a storage solution for holding the entire universe of Cosmic. That was the plan. So you can read about the other systems or see the videos. The links are in the description and some more background on that. Especially in the first one. So this is number 5, so it's 7 more systems. This is the penultimate one, so there'll be one more video that will get us up to 42. And we're going to start off with the hot system. So this one, 4 planets, as you can see, and we have what we call the hot token. And you are going to, after the first turn of the game, at the start of each turn, you're going to move the star disk 1 planet to the right, so that is between these planets here and here. And then what happens is each time you move the star disk, any players with foreign colonies on the planets adjacent to the star must send a ship from those colonies to the warp. And then when it has reached the this position here, it will then start to go back. So it's just going to go back and forth here at the start of each turn. I know we talk about planets 4 and 5, but we actually reduced that to just 4 planets so that it moves. So really what's going to happen is people have to decide, they're probably going to try to occupy this planet first, hoping that things don't work out for getting all the way back, and then they're going to lose those ships. But yeah, eventually it's going to be popping back and forth because it's just going 1, 2, and then 1, 2. So it's going to have an effect, and this forces players to actually have to put more of their ships on foreign colonies in your system, which is probably not ideal for them. But it's a pretty simple effect, but I enjoy it. So moving clockwise, our next one is the Nebula System. So this one has 5 Nebula tokens that they just have a cloud image on one side, and I was a little bit lazy with these because making that shape and having it have 2 different sizes, it's a lot more work than I was prepared to do for just play testing. So, but what you're going to do is you are going to look at them. You're going to assign the 5 cloud tokens face down next to each of your planets. And what happens is when another player aims the hyperspace gate at one of your planets, you're going to reveal the associated cloud token. And then and what happens is it's going to deactivate some element or component for the encounter. So if it's a particular type of card, those cards can't be used. And if it's alien power, then you're, for the opposing side, all their alien powers are considered turned face down, and then or offensive allies can't be invited. So those are the different effects. It's alien powers lost, flare cards, artifacts, reinforcements, or no allies. So once revealed, that is going to remain in effect whenever the associated planet is targeted by the hyperspace gate. So it starts off as just being a defense thing, but once it's revealed, it will work when you, as the Nebula player, if you choose to attack a planet, it will help you, and then players on the opposing side will suffer from those effects. So yeah, you could be like, all right, we don't know, they start face down, so they don't know, and they flip this over, and you're like, great, no alien powers. And then this one, what about this one? Can't have allies. And so And I probably update that so that there's a ship on the other side as well, so that you can just that will work when you're the offense. Most of the time, though, as you know, people are not usually the offense in their own system. It's pretty unusual. So this is going to be mostly a defensive thing, but this has started off as a homebrew system that I had, um, but it was fixed. So and you knew which planets had an effect on which component, and it was different effects. And so in advancing this to the cosmic universe stage, I settled on the tokens, and so I like this a lot better. And yeah, it's kind of a nice little take. Our next one, so our companion to the hot system is the cold system, and this is another one. It should only be 4 planets, so I had to I should have updated that. But just for fun, just for the full effect, I'm gonna get rid of this one, stick that in the bag. So yeah, 4 planets. And what's going to happen is at the start of every turn, players with foreign colonies in your system have to add a ship to each colony they have here in the cold system from any colonies outside of the system if they're able to. And additionally, ships in your system belonging to other players cannot leave their colonies here unless the controlling player discards a card at random from their hand for each ship they wish to move. So here they're going to be adding ships out here into the cold wasteland system, and which again similar to hot, they're gonna end up with more ships out here, and if they want to start using those ships, there's going to be a cost associated with it. So the idea is the colonies here need constant support, and ships are so frozen they have difficulty leaving. So yeah, I love the cold system. This is one of my favorites in there, and I think this probably be a green alert, maybe yellow. That was one of the things we are still in the process of figuring out. Our next system is called the Small Worlds system, and I'm a big fan of the board game Small World. Not that this has anything to do with it, but I did like using that name. So this is going to seem familiar to anybody who knows Pygmy, and it's definitely related, but a little bit different. So let's take a look here. So first of all, you're going to have 10 of your ships on your one normal planet. You're going to have 2 ships on each of these medium-sized planets, and then 1 ship on each of these little planets, the small ones. And so as the defense in your system, when another player attacks your system, they do not aim the hyperspace gate at any specific planet. So when they're here, they're just going to be like, all right, I'm bringing however many of my ships. The allies are committed. The defense commits normally, but we don't know which planet we're attacking. And so in the reveal phase, after cards are revealed, you as the Small Worlds player, point the hyperspace gate at any planet where the offense does not already have a colony. And then, similar to Pygmy, only 2 ships can occupy a medium-sized world, and only 1 ship may ever occupy a small world. And if the offense wins the encounter and the gate has been aimed at a medium or small world, they have the first opportunity to land ships on the planet, and then the offensive allies clockwise from the offense. And once a planet is full, all the remaining ships that would land are going to go to the warp instead. So it's definitely different enough, I think, from Pygmy. And if we knew that we were going to have systems, Pygmy almost certainly would have been a system effect instead. And I think I probably still would have had Pygmy. So you would have had the 10 extra planets. Although, we would have done something like this where you're just giving you 10 of these little planets rather than that. But I love this one. So you can decide to point it here once there's a reveal. If you feel like, all right, well, I've got my 10 ships plus, allies, whatever, I'm going to win. There could be some crazy flare effect or who knows what that makes this into a mistake, and then everybody gets to land on here. But it's kind of an ally deterrent because they figure you're just going to point them at one of these little planets, and you're going to keep doing that until all the little ones are full. So yeah, it's a nice deterrent. So here, this still will count as a full foreign colony. So that's another difference from Pygmy. Pygmy, the planets are only worth half a colony, rounded down. So once you get your first colony, you still don't have anything for your score. That's not going to go up. You're going to have to get 2 colonies in the Pygmy system. But here, yeah, if you can get your 1 ship onto that planet, that's a full foreign colony. So I think, like I said, I think this is plenty different from Pygmy. All right, over to purple, we have the mystery system. So you're going to draw 5 cards from the cosmic deck after hands are full dealt, and then you're going to add them to your hand, then assign a card face down to each of your planets. And this, I guess actually these would be on the other side, so that you know, not interfering. Not that it really matters, but the forms must be obeyed. And then once assigned to a planet, it's no longer part of your hand, but you can look at it. So as the defense, during the launch phase, you may reveal the card associated with the targeted planet. So you're like, all right, it's a 10. And then you're either going to add that card to your hand, give it to your opponent, or force your opponent to use it as their encounter card in the planning phase. You're like, well, look at that. You're just playing a 10. And then whenever you draw a new hand, you may assign cards from it to any of your planets in the system that do not have one. So there could be, once this happens, this could be kind of an open planet for a while. So other players may be like, oh, quick, let's, it's wild, let's attack this planet while there's really nothing else going on. But you're like, all right, yeah, there's a 6. Here's a reinforcement, which maybe you will add to your hand, or maybe you'll say, I'll tell you what, if we can make a deal, I'll give you this card. So that's a nice little, perk there. Here's a negotiate. Now, they don't have to play. It's... Oh, yeah. Force your opponent to use it as their encounter card. Like, yeah, you're going to be negotiating. Maybe they'll make a deal now that we know that you're doing that. Attack 4. So, yeah, the mystery system is going to be a real... there could be a lot of negotiates out there. So you just got to know that, offer a nice deal and hope that they haven't unloaded all of the negotiates from their hand onto the planets, and then they're just like, yeah, I'm not worrying about this. Of course, you're giving away compensation, so that's not always the best move for this player, but that's up to you. All right, our next one is the tech systems. As you can see, we have tech cards associated with here. So during the setup, you're going to draw 6 and then choose 5 of them, discarding the other one. And if it's a game with tech, you will do that as well. You'll have separate techs that you're researching. So during each regroup, in addition to any research on techs that you have that are not associated with a planet, so normal tech, you can move one of your ships from a home planet to the associated tech card, or discard attack cards if it's a Militech, which is something from Cosmic Odyssey. And if at the start of a regroup, the tech card already has the sufficient number of ships required to complete it, you reveal that tech normally. So you're like, oh, look, well, let's go. Here's a better example. The quacks, the cacks, I don't know how we pronounce that. And so, yes. And then additionally, you may count any or all ships belonging to other players sharing a home colony with you on the associated planet to the research requirements, although they do not get sacrificed for it. It has tech. So if a completed tech is discarded, you may immediately draw a new one and place it face down. So this one, you would give this tech away. So let's take a look here. That's another X. That's crazy. So Delta scanners, that's discard. Collapsium hulls. So yeah, once completed, this tech stays in place. So this one would just always be in play, and then once that happens, you're not going to be doing any more research here. But yeah, you're going to be able to research multiple techs. So still only one of these each regroup, but it's still nice to have that extra little thing going on, and you can decide, oh, you know what, maybe I need to research this one now instead of that one. But as your situations change, so I think having a tech system was an obvious move. We're definitely going to do it. And then our final system for our penultimate batch is the white hole system. So when you're a main player, so that's not just defense, when you would discard a card you played or revealed, instead you're going to put it face down on this sheet, unless some other effect would normally intervene. So filch and vulch and stuff like that. Cards on the sheet are not part of your hand, but you can look at them. And whenever you win an encounter as a main player, you may draw a random card from the sheet. Plus, when you're making a deal, you may offer a random card from the sheet to either or both main players as part of the deal. So random cards, if you have a really good card, and you're like, yeah, I played to 30. It's going to be on there, and you probably will get that back eventually. Although if you get a bunch of cards on there, it may be a while before you get the one that you want. And if you do make a deal, you may end up giving somebody something good because it is random. You just don't know who's going to get what. But I love this. It's keeping some crazy cards in circulation, and it's a nice perk here, and it means that yeah, you can feel free to play stuff early and often because especially the good stuff, you're like, yeah, I'm going to Cosmic Zap you right now because there's a good chance I'll get that back here pretty soon. But yeah, you do have to win. You have to win or make a deal in order to get those cards back. So that is this batch. There's a lot of these systems I like a lot. Although, to be fair, I like all the systems. So, and I would love to see this expansion published one day. That would be great. I don't know that it will ever happen, but it's at least the information is out there, and like I said, I'm making some physical components so that I can at least start doing this. I've got all the cards, although I might end up, as I continue to play with it and get feedback, I may end up making some changes. But that's all. It's all well and good. I'm a frequent home brewer and print a lot of homebrew ideas and stuff, and then change some and print the new ones. So that's how it goes. Let me know in the comments what you think of these systems and your thoughts on special systems overall. It is one of the more advanced variants, but again, I've been playing Cosmic Encounter for decades and decades, so I'm ready for this sort of thing, and I really was hoping to get that into the game. That's it for this one, everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.